Hey guys, welcome to a new episode of Tarmac Team. And this is the best sports car money can buy. This is a 2000 special edition Mazda Miata. This is the NB out of the four generations, NA, NB, and you can guess what the other two are, NC and ND. Let me tell you what this special edition has to offer that the normal one doesn't. It comes with this beautiful mahogany mica paint, polished 15-inch alloy wheels, a nice beige leather interior with wooden trim. The normal one comes with a 5-speed manual transmission, while this comes with a 6-speed manual transmission and a limited slip differential to make cornering a bit more aggressive. What makes the Miata the perfect sports car? Let me tell you, there's a few things. First of all, the weight. This car weighs only 2,300 pounds, which makes it one of the lightest cars on the road. The first Miata, 2,100 pounds. More than 30 years later, the brand new Miata is almost the same. Props to Mazda. Which other car company can do that? Another thing, 50-50 weight balance. One of the most important things when making this car was the 50-50 weight balance. They were so particular about it, they put the battery in the trunk. Another thing, the suspension. This car is so low to the ground, when you're driving, you could just open your door and touch the ground. This, paired with the LSD, makes it one of the best handling cars ever. Let me show you just how light this car is. And about the seating position, because of the low center of gravity, you're sitting so low. I could be driving, doing my thing, and I could touch the ground. This car is like a go-kart for the roads. As some of you may know, I still have a few more years before I can drive. So I have an idea. One of my favorite shows of all time, Top Gear. They had the Stig, and I brought my own. To Unk. Now that we're on the road, let's talk about the history of the Miata. So the first Miata came out in 1989 at the Chicago Auto Show. And since the year 2000, it has become the best-selling two-door sports car convertible. The word Miata in German means reward, and trust me, this car is a really good reward. When driving, it's so nice, the suspension is so nice. When Mazda was making this car, they took inspiration from two things. One, British roadsters, their lightweight, affordable, open-air experience. And the Japanese philosophy, Jinba Itai. I think that's how you say it. It means horse and rider as one, or in this case, car and driver as one. And you can really feel that, how nimble and lightweight this car is, how you can just send it through the corners and it'll grip nicely and you really feel everything. In Japan, this is called the Yunus Roadster, not called the Miata, because there's a bicycle company in Japan called Miata, so for copyright reasons, they had to name it the Yunus Roadster. And by the third generation, they tried renaming it to MX-5, but fans were not happy about the alphanumerical name. So they made it MX-5 Miata to keep the fans happy. Personally, I don't like alphanumerical names. I feel like there's no color. It doesn't show the true colors of a car. I don't like it at all. Like 335i, all that nonsense. I like, proper names like Miata, Mustang, stuff like that. Competitors for this car are the Toyota GR86 and the Subaru BRZ. In my mind, I don't really see them as competitors because they both have 100 more horsepower than this car, and they both have rear seats and no convertible. This has convertible, no rear seats, and 100 less horsepower. With this generation, in the year 2000, I believe, or 2005, they made a NB Miata Mazda Speed version, which came with a turbocharger and it had a significantly more horsepower. That I'm guessing is, really fun because this car doesn't have that much horsepower, but that one, fixes that problem. But with this car, that's not like one of the big issues. I guess it's you don't really need horsepower to have fun in this car. You can have fun just being in this lane. Let's talk about the handling. It's very neutral with a tiny amount of understeer. It's very predictable. You can feel what the car is feeling, what the wheels and suspension are going through, which roads are abusing them, and which roads are giving the Miata some love. The feedback through the wooden steering wheel is very, very nice. Okay, um, there is some body roll, but that's intentional, so you can feel what the car is going through to get that fun sensation. This second generation Miata comes with an inline-four dual overhead cam 16 valve engine. It produces 140 horsepower and 119 pound-feet of torque. In 2002, they jumped it up from 140 horsepower to an absolute crazy 142 horsepower. I know, it's insane. In 2005, they released the Mazda Speed. It came with a turbocharger and produced 178 horsepower. This Miata also comes with a strut brace for improved handling. And now that we're done with the engine, we can move on to the interior. This is a 2000 special edition, which only has 3,000 units. Because of that, Mazda partnered with Nardi Torino, an Italian aftermarket company. They gave us a wooden shifter, wooden steering wheel, and a wooden handbrake. This comes with a OG CD player and cassette deck, with a premium Bose sound system. It also has barely any driving aids. No 50 suspension modes, pumped in audio, not even traction control. It comes with cruise control and ABS, and that's all you're getting. This wooden steering wheel is so good on the road. Perfect feel. This shifter gives you the nice short shifts, and this handbrake makes you wish you could rip it at every corner. Now, I'm going to show you how easy it is to put the top up. There's not a single other car that can do this easily. I'm already done. What was that? 5 seconds? For storage, it's obviously not the greatest. The door panel, you can fit a phone. In the glove compartment, you can fit your Bob Marley CDs. You can fit a duffel bag here in the back. And the special edition comes with this leather pouch that can fit water bottles and sunglasses. Also, there's a glove compartment, which isn't the greatest. And there's only a few negatives about this car. One, straight line speed. This only has 140 horsepower, so on the straights you're not doing much. Second, all your usability. I would drive this in the spring, summer, maybe fall, but winter, definitely no. And the glove compartment. I don't like how every time I have to open it just to get to my trunk and my gas. And it's also very flimsy. And there's only one last negative, the trunk. And you know what that means. It might take some convincing, but it's time for the unk in the trunk test. The Miata's trunk is very, very small. It does have a spare tire though. It can fit a few groceries, maybe 2 weekend bags, and what? 3/4 of an unk? Time for the 0 to 60 test. This car wasn't built for this, so I'm not expecting much, but I'm guessing low 8s to high 7 range. Let's find out. Just as I expected, 7.8. in the corner, this thing hustles. It's a momentum car. So it forces you to not rely on horsepower, but more of technique and form to an advantage. You can go on YouTube and look at track days, and you'll see Miatas. You'll see a ton of Miatas there. And on the twisties, I've seen some keeping up with Porsches and Corvettes and stuff like that. But on the straights, of course, it's at a disadvantage. This is such a good track car that there's even their own spec Miata racing, which is the most popular road racing class in the world. We're on the highway right now, and for a small 25-year-old little sports car, it's actually doing pretty decent, better than I was expecting. We're going 120 up somewhere about there, and suspension feels fine. It does rev a bit higher, closer to the 4,000 RPM range in sixth gear. But other than that, it's actually pretty decent. One major issue though is with big trucks and SUVs. They can't really see you because how small and low this car is. So you have to be extra cautious when on the highway and driving, and make sure. And you have the responsibility that people can see you and stuff like that. The Miata is considered many things. A perfect first car teaching you all the fundamentals of driving, weight transfer, car control, and a perfectly forgiving manual transmission. It is also considered a perfect track car, being able to rip around corners, and the lightweight makes it amazing around the curves. It is also a great conversation starter and a social media machine, either for content or daily lifestyle. And that's the beauty of the Miata. It's a car for the enthusiasts. You can build it however you want, put a big V8 engine, or turn into a crazy off-roader. And we need to preserve cars like these. Make sure that they stay with us in this day and age of modern iPads on wheels. Because if these cars go extinct, we will lose the thrill of driving we once had. As a young kid looking up to these cars and now finally owning it, I can confidently say that this is one of the best cars you can buy, and I can confidently say Miata is always the answer.